the way that the process works is that questions will be put to the minister on June the 8th as a result of this information gathering process when the bill is debated in Parliament. So at the moment we're just having dialogue with the various groups, and we hope as a result of that there'll be a better understanding of the situation and of our concerns. Very much so, because with Cuba has announced plans to add a substantial number of rooms over the next 3 years. They're talking anywhere from 18 to 20,000 new rooms on top of the 60,000 rooms that they have now. It will be difficult for them to absorb all of those rooms on a fairly rapid basis, but what will happen is there's a lot of interest in the United States for people to go to Cuba, similar kinds of people that come to Aruba. And so consequently, if that business is diverted to Cuba, then it will have a knock-on effect for us because it provides another opportunity. But the real concern about Cuba is the impact it's going to have on Jamaica, the impact that it's going to have on the Bahamas, the impact it's going to have on the Dominican Republic. And if they lose business to Cuba, then they will be looking to replace that business in our markets. For example, last year, the Dominican Republic lost a lot of Russian business, and they consequently turned to South America to replace that business. And our business from Brazil fell by 20%, and their business from Brazil increased by about 30%, because basically what they did is they went into Brazil and said, you know, we're going to offer you a better deal. And that's the same thing that will happen with Cuba. That business the Dominican loses to Cuba, they will look into our markets to replace it. So we'll have to compete at that level. Occupancy is down slightly. We have more rooms. We have 60 more rooms with the Divi Tamarin. So if you look at the actual number of occupied room nights, it's more or less the same in the first 4 months of this year compared to last year. However, that has only been achieved by discounting, that the hotels have been forced to reduce their prices. And this is not something which is unique to Aruba. Right across the Caribbean, other Caribbean countries are finding that their business is not what they expected, and as a result occupancies are down, usually by anywhere from 2 to 3 points, say from 81 to 78, I think was typical. But really what has been happening is that they've been able to hold occupancy only by cutting room rates, by discounting, because basically when you have that situation, obviously people put deals out into the marketplace, and that's what's been happening. So the real concern is the fact that while we still have a fairly similar number of visitors to last year, the same 4 months of last year, the amount of money that's coming in is not at the same level. And unfortunately we see that trend continuing because it's so competitive out there in the marketplace now.